What if I told you that reality is not something you chase, but something you command? That everything you desire is already within your reach, waiting for you to claim it. The world bends to the mind that knows how to shape it. You are not a victim of chance. You are the creator of your destiny. But creation is not accidental. It follows laws, habits, and principles. Master these, and you master your life. Here are 7 habits that set apart those who manifest effortlessly from those who struggle in uncertainty. The most powerful manifestors don't wait for proof. They live as if they already have what they desire. They understand a fundamental truth. Reality does not shape their beliefs, but rather their beliefs shape reality. They do not beg, they do not hope, and they do not wish. They know. And that knowing is the key that unlocks all things. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you step into a new version of yourself, a version that already possesses what you seek. You are no longer someone who desires wealth. You are already wealthy. You do not long for love. You are already loved. You do not hope for success. You are already successful. This is not a game of pretending. It is a shift in identity. It is the recognition that you are the source of your experiences, and what you impress upon your subconscious must eventually be expressed in your world. Most people make the mistake of waiting for external confirmation before believing in their desires. They look at their bank account and see lack, so they continue to believe in scarcity. They look at their relationships and see loneliness, so they continue to feel unworthy of love. They look at their circumstances and see obstacles, so they continue to feel powerless. And in doing so, they unknowingly reinforce the very conditions they wish to escape. They live in a cycle of reaction rather than creation, never realizing that the power was within them all along. The ones who manifest effortlessly do something different. They close their eyes to the world of appearances and open them to the world of imagination. They choose to feel wealthy even when the pockets are empty. They choose to feel loved even when they are alone. They choose to feel powerful even when circumstances suggest otherwise. And because they persist in this assumption, the world eventually conforms to their inner reality. It has no choice. The world is simply a mirror, reflecting back to them the state they have claimed as true. To assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled is not merely about thinking positive thoughts. It is a deep, unwavering conviction that what you desire is already yours. It is a state of certainty so strong that doubt cannot penetrate it. It is walking through life with the quiet confidence of someone who already has what they once sought. It is a shift in your inner dialogue where instead of saying, "I hope it happens," you say, "It is done." Instead of wondering, "Will it come?" you affirm, "It is here." This does not mean forcing yourself to believe in something that feels unnatural. It means gently guiding your mind into alignment with your desired reality. It means taking moments throughout the day to close your eyes and feel the joy, relief, and gratitude of already having what you seek. It means embodying that state in your actions, thoughts, and emotions so that it becomes second nature. When you truly assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you no longer seek validation from the outside world. You no longer need signs, reassurance, or proof. You no longer oscillate between belief and doubt. You have settled into a new reality, and because you have done so internally, it must reflect externally. This is the law. This is the process by which all things come to be. Most people fail to manifest what they want because they allow the outer world to dictate their inner state. They let temporary setbacks convince them that their desires are out of reach. They give up too soon, retreating into old patterns of fear and disbelief. But those who manifest effortlessly understand that persistence in assumption is key. They do not flinch when reality appears unchanged. They do not waver in their conviction. They hold firm to the feeling of already having, and in time, the world adjusts to match their certainty. Every great achievement, every moment of transformation, every shift from lack to abundance begins with a simple but profound decision to assume that what you want is already yours, to step into the identity of someone who has rather than someone who hopes, to claim your desire in consciousness before it arrives in form. And when you do this, when you fully embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you will witness the miraculous unfold before your eyes. Reality will bend, opportunities will appear, and what once seemed impossible will become inevitable. The thoughts you entertain shape the life you live. Every moment you are engaged in a silent conversation with yourself, and this conversation determines the reality you experience. The most powerful manifestors understand that the mind is a garden, and every thought is a seed. They do not allow weeds of doubt, fear, and limitation to take root. Instead, they consciously cultivate thoughts that align with their desires. They refuse to dwell on failure, rejection, or scarcity, because they know that whatever they accept as true in their inner world will inevitably become true in their outer world. Most people are careless with their inner conversations. They speak of their struggles as if they are permanent. They dwell on worst-case scenarios, replaying old disappointments and reinforcing limiting beliefs. They worry, complain, and focus on what they lack, not realizing that in doing so, they are ordering more of the same from life. Their subconscious mind listens to every word and takes it as a command. If they say, "Nothing ever works out for me," the subconscious ensures that this remains their experience. If they say, "I never have enough money," their world reflects that lack. They assume life is happening to them, unaware that it is merely responding to their own thoughts. Those who manifest effortlessly speak a different language. Their inner dialogue is not one of worry, but of certainty. They talk to themselves as someone who already possesses their desires. Even when things appear unchanged, they do not allow their words to contradict what they want to experience. They understand that the outer world is just a delayed reflection of the inner world. So they remain steadfast in their assumption. They do not say, "I hope it happens." They say, "It is happening." They do not think, "What if I fail?" They affirm, "Success is inevitable." They do not allow self-doubt to dictate their future. Instead, they remind themselves, "I am worthy. I am capable. I am already in possession of all I desire." This shift in self-talk does not happen overnight, but with awareness and persistence, it becomes second nature. The key is to observe your inner dialogue and redirect it whenever it strays from what you wish to manifest. Every time you catch yourself thinking in lack, shift your focus to abundance. If you find yourself saying, "I can't afford this," replace it with, "Money flows to me easily." If you think, "I am not good enough," change it to, "I am more than enough." These corrections may feel small, but they have immense power. Over time, they reprogram the subconscious mind. And when the subconscious is aligned with your desires, manifestation happens effortlessly. Many people believe they must struggle to change their reality. But those who understand the nature of the mind know that reality shifts when self-talk shifts. They do not fight the outer world. They simply refuse to engage in conversations that contradict their vision. They understand that the spoken word carries energy, and every affirmation, whether positive or negative, is an order placed into the universe. They do not allow negative words to linger in their thoughts or on their lips. They are deliberate, disciplined, and intentional with every inner and outer expression. This practice extends beyond words. It is about the emotions attached to them. Saying, "I am wealthy," while feeling fear of lack, will not create abundance. Saying, "I am loved," while feeling unworthy, will not attract love. The most effective manifestors align their emotions with their words. They do not merely repeat affirmations mechanically. They feel them deeply. When they say, "I am successful," they allow the feeling of success to fill their body. When they affirm, "I am abundant," They feel the security and joy of abundance. They know that emotion is the fuel behind thought, and when thought and feeling merge, creation is inevitable. The greatest test of this practice comes in difficult moments. When faced with setbacks, most people return to old patterns of doubt and fear. But those who master manifestation do the opposite. When obstacles arise, they double down on their inner dialogue. They do not panic or complain. Instead, they reaffirm their vision. They speak life into their desires, even when circumstances suggest otherwise. They know that their words are not just expressions, but instructions, and they refuse to give instructions that do not serve them. To manifest with ease, you must become a guardian of your thoughts and words. You must speak as though your desires are already fulfilled. Think as though success is inevitable, and train yourself to ignore appearances that contradict your vision. When you do this consistently, life has no choice but to reflect the new script you have written. The words you speak within yourself shape the world you walk through. Reality is always catching up to consciousness. The most powerful manifestors understand that what they see in the present moment is nothing more than a reflection of past thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions. They do not allow temporary circumstances to shake their faith. They know that the outer world, they persist in their vision, no matter what appears in the present, because they know that persistence is the force that bends reality to their will. Most people fall into the trap of reacting to what they see. They look at their current bank balance, their relationships, their health, or their career, and allow these conditions to dictate their beliefs. If they see lack, they believe in scarcity. If they experience rejection, they believe they are unworthy. If they face failure, they assume success is out of reach. In doing so, they trap themselves in an endless cycle of recreating the same unwanted experiences over and over again. They let the present moment define them, unaware that the present moment is simply the past playing itself out. Those who master manifestation take a different approach. They do not accept the present as final. They know that circumstances are fluid, that reality is malleable, and that the unseen forces of creation are always at work. When they desire something, they hold on to the vision of it as though it is already done. They do not waver when challenges arise. They do not entertain doubts when results seem delayed. They remain unshaken because they know that persistence in assumption is the key to making the unseen seen. To persist is not to force. It is not about struggle or effort. It is about maintaining an unwavering inner conviction despite external appearances. It is about trusting the process, knowing that what is planted in the mind must eventually sprout in reality. The most powerful manifestors have learned to remain faithful to their desires even when nothing in their world seems to be changing. They do not give up just because something has not yet appeared. They understand that everything follows a natural gestation period, and impatience only disrupts the process. Most people abandon their desires too soon. They set an intention, visualize it, and affirm it for a few days or weeks, but when they do not see immediate results, they let doubt creep in. They start questioning whether it is working, whether they are doing it right, whether manifestation is even real. And in that very moment of doubt, they undo their progress. They shift back into the state of not having, and the cycle begins again. Those who persist, however, do not allow themselves to be swayed by delay. They do not check for evidence every few moments, because they understand that creation happens in the unseen first. They walk in certainty, knowing that what they have claimed in consciousness must solidify into form. Persistence is most tested in moments of adversity. When obstacles arise, most people assume their desire is not meant for them. They see difficulties as signs to give up, when in reality, these are merely tests of their commitment. The greatest manifestors do not retreat when things appear to go wrong. They do not crumble under pressure or allow fear to dictate their actions. Instead, they double down on their belief. They reaffirm their vision with even more conviction. They remind themselves that reality is always shifting to match their dominant state of mind. And they refuse to give in to appearances. Every great achievement in history has been the result of persistence. The greatest artists, inventors, and visionaries were not those who never faced setbacks, but those who never let setbacks define them. They held on to their visions when no one else could see them. They believed in their creations before the world did. They persisted when circumstances told them to quit, and because of that, their visions became reality. The same law applies to manifestation. The world will tell you to believe in what you see, but the true power lies in believing in what you have not yet seen. When you persist, despite all evidence to the contrary, you force the world to rearrange itself in your favor. Those who persist do not need external motivation because they are fueled by an inner knowing. They do not chase results, they allow results to come to them. They do not need validation, they validate themselves. They walk through life with quiet confidence, knowing that reality is a reflection of their state of being. They persist in their assumptions until their assumptions harden into fact. They hold the vision so clearly in their minds that the world has no choice but to conform to it. They understand that no matter what appears in the present, their future is already secured by the reality they have chosen within. Imagination is the blueprint of creation. Every reality that has ever been experienced first existed in the unseen realm of thought. The greatest manifestors understand that the mind is not a passive observer of reality, but the architect of it. They know that what they vividly imagine with belief and feeling will inevitably take form in their external world. They do not wait for physical proof to believe in their desires. They create the proof internally first. They enter the scene of their fulfilled wish so completely that it feels more real than their current circumstances. By doing this, they impress their subconscious mind, and what is impressed must be expressed. Most people misuse their imagination without realizing it. They replay past failures, dwell on fears, and anticipate worst-case scenarios. They imagine rejection before it happens. They visualize obstacles before they appear. They feel the weight of problems that have not yet come to pass, unknowingly sending signals to their subconscious mind to make those fears real. They call it being realistic, but in truth, they are manifesting their own limitations. They assume imagination is just fantasy, not realizing that everything they now consider real once existed only in someone's mind. The home they live in, the technology they use, the clothes they wear, all were first imagined before they became reality. Those who manifest effortlessly take a different approach. They use their imagination deliberately with precision and intention. When they desire something, they close their eyes and step into the version of themselves who already has it. They do not merely think about their desire, they experience it as if it were happening now. They see it, hear it, touch it, feel it. They imagine the moment after it has already come to pass, the relief, the gratitude, the certainty. They engage their senses so vividly that the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is imagined. And because the subconscious controls all external conditions, reality bends to reflect what has been impressed upon it. This is not daydreaming. Daydreaming is wishful thinking, a passive longing for something without embodying it. True manifestation requires immersion. It demands that the individual fully step into the feeling of already having what they desire. Those who master this understand that the key is not in merely seeing the outcome, but in feeling it deeply. They do not imagine as an outsider looking in. They imagine as the one living the experience. They do not wish for it, they become it. They do not hope for it, they assume it. Many people give up on imagination because they believe it is not working. They visualize something once or twice, and see no immediate change, so they dismiss it. They fail to understand that imagination is not a one-time event, but a way of being. The most powerful manifestors live in their imagined state until it hardens into reality. They remain faithful to their vision, revisiting it often, refining it, making it more real to themselves than anything the senses report. They do this not out of desperation, but out of knowing that the unseen is more powerful than the seen. Obstacles do not shake them because they know that imagination overrides circumstance. If their current reality contradicts their desire, they do not waver. Instead, they return to their inner world, reshaping the vision with even greater clarity and conviction. They do not let external conditions dictate their belief. They dictate their belief, and external conditions follow. They do not ask how or when their manifestation will come to pass. They simply know that it will, because they have already lived it in the realm of the mind. And once something has been fully experienced internally, it must externalize in time. The world may tell them to be practical, to lower their expectations, to accept things as they are, but they do not concern themselves with what the world says. They understand that the world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting their inner state. They refuse to accept lack, limitation, or delay as permanent, because they know they have the power to rewrite their reality at any moment. They do not chase what they want, they assume it, embody it, and allow it to unfold naturally. Imagination is the greatest creative force available to mankind, yet few use it consciously. Those who do, however, hold the key to limitless creation. They know that they are never bound by circumstances, only by the limits of their own vision. They train themselves to see beyond the present, beyond logic, beyond what is probable. They reach into the unseen and bring forth the impossible. They make the invisible real, knowing that whatever they dare to claim in imagination will one day stand before them in tangible form. Faith is the force that holds the unseen long enough for it to become seen. The most powerful manifestors understand that what they believe with absolute certainty must take form in their reality. They do not entertain doubt, for they know that doubt is the destroyer of creation. They do not waver between belief and fear, for they know that hesitation weakens the foundation of their desires. They walk with the quiet confidence of one who already knows the outcome, not because they see evidence of it in the physical world, but because they feel it as truth within. Faith is not hope, nor is it blind optimism. It is the deep, unshakable knowing that what has been claimed in consciousness must materialize in form. Most people struggle with faith because they rely on their senses to validate their beliefs. They wait for signs before they allow themselves to trust. They look for proof before they commit to a vision. And in doing so, they remain stuck in a cycle of doubt, for the world only reflects what is first accepted in the mind. The greatest manifestors reverse this process. They do not need to see proof to believe. They believe first, and then the proof follows. They do not rely on the outside world to confirm their desires. They hold to their inner convictions, knowing the outside world will rearrange itself accordingly. Faith is most tested in moments of uncertainty. When circumstances seem to contradict the vision, when obstacles arise, when time stretches on without visible change, this is when the weak abandon their desires. They let impatience take over, they allow fear to seep in, and they question whether they were foolish to believe in something unseen. They speak of what they lack, of how things are not working, of how nothing is changing, and with every word of doubt they reaffirm the very reality they wish to escape. Those who manifest effortlessly do not entertain such thoughts. They discipline their minds to hold fast to what they have chosen. They refuse to let external conditions dictate their faith. They know that all creation begins in the invisible and moves into the visible, and they remain steadfast until the transition is complete. To cultivate faith is to live in the certainty of the unseen. It is to walk as though the wish is already fulfilled, to think, speak, and act in alignment with that reality. The greatest manifestors do not merely wish for what they desire, they assume it with complete confidence. They do not hope to receive, they know they already have it. They do not say, "One day I will have this." They say, "It is already mine." And because they claim it with such conviction, the world has no choice but to yield to their assumption. Most people live by the evidence of their senses. They trust what they can see, hear, and touch, and they dismiss anything beyond that as fantasy. But those who create extraordinary realities understand that the senses only report the past. They show what has already been manifested, not what is coming. They do not allow what they see today to define what they believe about tomorrow. They do not let temporary appearances shake their conviction. If they desire wealth but see lack, they do not affirm the lack. They persist in the feeling of abundance. If they desire love but experience loneliness, they do not dwell in loneliness. They embody the love they wish to receive. They live from the end, inhabiting the reality they have claimed, knowing that faith is the bridge that transforms thought into form. To doubt is to delay. To waver is to weaken. Every moment of disbelief pushes the manifestation further away, for the mind cannot hold two opposing beliefs at once. Those who master manifestation do not permit contradiction within themselves. They are unwavering in their assumption, unshaken by appearances, undisturbed by time. They do not concern themselves with how or when, for they know the details are not theirs to control. Their only task is to hold faith, to remain aligned with the reality they have chosen, to carry themselves as the person who already possesses all they desire. Faith is a choice. It is a discipline. It is the foundation upon which all manifestations are built. The most powerful creators have trained themselves to remain faithful to their vision no matter what arises. They understand that reality does not respond to wishful thinking, it responds to unwavering certainty. And so they stand firm, knowing that what they have claimed within must take shape without. They trust in the unseen more than the seen, and because of that trust, the unseen becomes seen. Persistence is the force that turns thought into form. The most powerful manifestors know that reality conforms to the mind that refuses to waver. They do not allow temporary setbacks to weaken their conviction. They do not mistake delays for denial. They understand that the external world is a reflection of their internal state, and they persist in their assumption until the world aligns with their vision. No matter what appears before them, they remain unmoved. They do not question whether their manifestation is coming. They know it is already theirs. They do not allow doubt to creep in, for they understand that the moment they begin to question, they weaken the foundation they have built. They hold fast to their belief with an unshakable grip, refusing to let go until what they have imagined becomes tangible reality. Most people give up too soon. They assume that if their desire does not materialize immediately, it is not working. They look for instant results, and when they do not see them, they fall back into old patterns of thought. They start affirming the opposite of what they want. They complain about their current circumstances. They speak of their lack, their frustration, their impatience, and in doing so they undo all the progress they have made. The most successful manifestors do not make this mistake. They persist even when nothing seems to be happening. They understand that the seed they have planted in their mind must grow before it can be seen. They do not dig it up to check if it is sprouting. They trust that it is. The world is filled with distractions that attempt to pull the mind away from its chosen reality. The senses constantly report back what is, rather than what is becoming. But those who understand the power of persistence know that the outer world is nothing but a reflection of past thoughts. They do not allow it to dictate their future. They refuse to be swayed by appearances. If they desire health, they do not focus on illness. If they desire love, they do not dwell in loneliness. If they desire wealth, they do not entertain thoughts of lack. They persist in the assumption that what they want is already theirs, and they do not allow the current conditions to convince them otherwise. Every great manifestation is born through persistence. It is not enough to imagine something once or twice and then hope it comes true. The greatest creators understand that repetition is the key. They reinforce their vision daily. They live in the end result over and over again until it becomes their dominant state of being. They do not treat manifestation as a fleeting thought, but as a lifestyle. They embody the reality they seek until it becomes undeniable. They know that as long as they persist, the outcome is inevitable. Many people misunderstand persistence. They believe it means forcing something to happen, chasing after it with desperation. But true persistence is effortless. It is a quiet, steady knowing that does not require struggle. It is the inner confidence that does not need reassurance. It is the unwavering assumption that the desire is already fulfilled. The most powerful manifestors do not beg the universe to give them what they want. They simply assume it is theirs and persist in that belief until the world reshapes itself accordingly. Doubt and fear are the enemies of persistence. They creep in when things do not happen on the expected timeline. They whisper that perhaps the manifestation is not working, that maybe the desire is too big, too impossible. But those who master their reality do not entertain these thoughts. They recognize them as illusions, as remnants of an old way of thinking that no longer serves them. They replace doubt with certainty, fear with faith. They persist in their chosen reality until it becomes the only reality. There is no such thing as failure for those who persist. There is only movement toward the inevitable. The greatest manifestors do not give up because they do not see results. They know results must come. They do not ask when or how, for they understand that their only role is to remain steadfast in their belief. They know that persistence is not about force, but about alignment. They hold to their vision with absolute conviction, and in doing so, they command reality to conform. Whatever they persist in imagining, believing, and feeling must, without exception, become their lived experience. Imagination is the gateway to all creation. It is the unseen force that shapes reality, the invisible blueprint that precedes all tangible things. Those who manifest effortlessly understand that everything first exists in the mind before it takes form in the world. They do not dismiss imagination as mere fantasy, nor do they limit themselves by what their senses report. They know that whatever they can vividly imagine and fully embody within must in time materialize without. They do not rely on effort or struggle to bring their desires to life. They rely on the power of the mind to summon reality into existence. Most people use their imagination unconsciously. They allow their minds to wander to places of fear, doubt, and limitation. They rehearse failure before it even happens. They see obstacles in their path before they have even stepped forward. They dwell in memories of past disappointments, reliving them over and over again, and in doing so, they create more of the same in their present and future. The true manifester does not make this mistake. They direct their imagination with precision. They use it deliberately, shaping it into the exact experience they wish to live. They do not dwell on what is unwanted. They entertain only that which aligns with their desires. The world may tell you that imagination is a childish thing, that it has no power, that reality is fixed and unchangeable. But the greatest creators understand that the opposite is true. Reality is fluid, and the mind is the architect. Everything you see around you was once held in someone's imagination before it became real. Every invention, every building, every work of art, every achievement was first conceived in the mind. The ones who shape the world are the ones who know how to use their imagination consciously, to form the world before it forms them. To truly master manifestation, one must learn to live in the reality of their imagination more than the reality of their senses. It is not enough to daydream about a desire and then return to thinking, feeling, and acting in opposition to it. The most powerful manifestors enter into their imagined reality fully. They assume it to be true. They walk, talk, and feel as if they are already the person they desire to be. They carry themselves with the confidence of someone who has already received what they seek. They do not merely wish for change, they embody the change within themselves first. Most people fail to manifest because they imagine their desires incorrectly. They place themselves outside of the experience, looking at it as something separate, something far away. They see themselves wishing for it rather than living in it. The most effective manifestors do not observe their desires from a distance. They step into them. They make their imaginations as vivid as possible, engaging all their senses, feeling the emotions of fulfillment. They touch, taste, hear, and see the details of their wish fulfilled in their mind so clearly that it becomes more real to them than their current surroundings. Imagination is not bound by logic or limitation, does not require evidence, nor does it care about the opinions of the world. It operates on belief, on conviction, on the acceptance of a new reality before it has yet appeared. The most powerful creators trust their imagination over their senses. They know that what is imagined consistently and with feeling must harden into fact. They do not let the absence of physical proof deter them. They persist in their vision until the world conforms. The imagination is the only true reality, and the world simply echoes what is consistently held within it. Those who use it consciously understand that their inner world is more powerful than anything that appears outside of them. They do not wait for things to change before they believe. They change their belief, and then things must change. They do not wait for proof before they feel something to be true. They feel it first, and then proof appears. They are not prisoners of circumstance. They are the authors of their lives, writing each chapter with the images they hold in mind. Whatever they persistently and vividly imagine with conviction must take shape, for imagination is the seed from which all creation grows. Ladies and gentlemen, everything in your life is a reflection of your imagination. The experiences you have, the people you meet, the events that unfold, each is the result of the reality you hold in your mind. What if you could wake up every day and live exactly as you desire? The truth is, you can. You are not bound by circumstances. You are only bound by the limitations of your thoughts. Your world changes the moment you command it to. The key? You must see it, feel it, and believe it before it becomes real. To assume the feeling of your ideal day is to step into the reality you wish to experience before it has physically manifested. This is not wishful thinking or passive daydreaming. It is the conscious act of embodying a state of being that aligns with the life you desire. Every morning, before your feet touch the floor, before the noise of the world enters your mind, you must create your reality from within. The moment you awaken, resist the urge to dwell on past limitations, unfinished tasks, or worries of the day ahead. Instead, close your eyes and construct the day you wish to live. See yourself moving through it effortlessly, feeling at peace, radiating confidence, and attracting the circumstances you desire. Your subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. It only responds to the feelings you impress upon it. If you rise from your bed carrying the same burdens of yesterday, you will unconsciously recreate those experiences again. But if you wake with the certainty that today unfolds in perfect harmony with your desires, the world must follow. It is not enough to merely think about what you want. You must feel it, immerse yourself in it, and accept it as truth before there is any external proof. If you desire success, you must feel successful. If you desire love, you must feel deeply loved. If you desire peace, you must embody that peace within. To truly assume the feeling, you must engage all your senses. If your ideal day involves waking up in a beautiful home, Feel the warmth of the sunlight streaming through the windows. Hear the distant sounds of the world waking up, the soft rustling of the trees, the gentle hum of life moving effortlessly around you. If your ideal day includes financial abundance, feel the weight of prosperity in your hands, the freedom it grants you, the joy of knowing that everything you need is already provided. If you desire a day filled with meaningful connections, imagine the conversations, the laughter, the deep sense of fulfillment that comes from being surrounded by people who uplift and inspire you. Many will argue that this practice is mere fantasy, but those who understand the power of consciousness know that the unseen world is just as real as the visible. The outer world is nothing but a reflection of the inner. When you assume the feeling of your ideal day, you shift the entire course of events before they even occur. This is not manipulation or force. It is the natural law of creation. The world conforms to the one who knows who they are and what they possess. Doubt and hesitation will attempt to creep in, but they only have power if you allow them. The moment you question whether your imagination holds weight, you weaken its effect. You must remain unwavering in your assumption, knowing that what you feel within must solidify in the physical world. Do not wait for circumstances to change before you shift your emotions. Change your emotions, and the circumstances will follow. The mistake many make is believing that their feelings should be dictated by external conditions. They wake up, check their phones, look at their bank accounts, or replay old conversations, and from those observations they decide how to feel. But this is moving backward. The true way to create your ideal day is to feel first, and then watch as reality rearranges itself to match that feeling. This is why it is critical to assume the feeling before any evidence appears. You must declare your day to be great before anything in the physical world confirms it. You must feel joy before the event that would typically bring joy arrives. You must feel the ease of success before success shows up. This is not denial of reality. It is the conscious direction of energy. If you continue to react to life instead of creating it, you will remain at the mercy of external forces. But if you wake up and take charge of your inner world, your outer world will have no choice but to reflect the perfection you have already assumed. Do this each morning without fail. No matter what yesterday looked like, no matter what circumstances seem to be present, commit to the unseen reality of your choosing. Assume the feeling so deeply that it becomes undeniable. Let every fiber of your being align with the version of yourself that already lives in the reality you seek. The world is nothing more than a mirror, and when you shift within, everything outside must shift with you. The outer world has no true power over you. It is nothing more than a reflection of the inner state you persistently occupy. Most people believe that circumstances dictate their emotions, that they must respond to what they see, but this is the great illusion. The truth is that your imagination is far more powerful than any external condition. The life you experience is not determined by what is happening around you, but by the reality you accept within. The moment you realize that your inner world is the cause and the outer world is merely the effect, you reclaim your power. There will always be moments where appearances contradict your desires. You may look at your current life and see lack, struggle, or limitation. But if you allow these temporary conditions to dictate what you believe is possible, you will remain trapped in an endless cycle of reacting rather than creating. The key to transformation is understanding that circumstances do not shape your imagination. The way forward is to hold firm to the reality you have chosen, regardless of what your senses may currently report. When you wake up in the morning, you may find yourself in the same house with the same obligations, the same financial situation, or the same challenges as yesterday. If you allow these facts to control your thinking, you will continue to create more of the same. But if you close your eyes and see yourself already in the life you desire, if you feel the ease, the joy, the fulfillment as though it were happening now, Your circumstances must shift to match that vision. This is not wishful thinking. It is the law of reality. What you persistently imagine with conviction must take form in the physical world. Think of the countless individuals who have risen from nothing, who have defied the odds, who have transformed their lives in ways that seemed impossible. These people did not wait for their environment to change before they changed their mindset. They first saw themselves as successful, as powerful, as abundant, even when nothing in their external world reflected it. And because they held on to that vision with unwavering belief, the world had no choice but to adjust to their new self-concept. The mistake most people make is looking to the world for proof before they allow themselves to believe. They say, I will feel confident when I see success, or I will believe in love when I find the right person. But this is backward. You must believe first. You must feel first. You must know it is real before it appears. Your imagination is the architect of your reality, and whatever you hold as truth within will eventually materialize without. When you face obstacles, when the world tells you that you cannot have what you desire, do not surrender to these illusions. They are only echoes of past thoughts, remnants of old beliefs that no longer serve you. Instead of accepting them as truth, turn inward and claim your power. Remind yourself that the outer world is not fixed. It is fluid, malleable, and completely subject to the images you impress upon your subconscious. If you desire abundance, do not focus on lack. If you desire love, do not focus on loneliness. If you desire success, do not dwell on failure. Instead, direct your mind toward the vision of what you want, and assume that it is already yours. Walk through your day with a quiet confidence that everything is aligning in your favor, even if you cannot yet see it. Reality will catch up with your belief. There's nothing outside of you that is stronger than what is within you. The moment you stop reacting to circumstances and start dictating them from within, the world will conform. Persist in the vision of the life you desire. Hold firm to your inner reality, and do not let the illusions of the present moment sway you. What you imagine today will become the world you live in tomorrow. Living in the end is the secret to manifestation. It is the act of assuming that what you desire is already yours, that the life you dream of is not something you are chasing, but something you already possess. Most people make the mistake of believing they must work tirelessly, wait for signs, or struggle before they can attain what they want. But the truth is, creation is finished. Everything you seek already exists in the realm of imagination, waiting for you to align with it. The only thing separating you from it is your belief in its reality. To live in the end means to step into the feeling of fulfillment now, without hesitation or doubt. It is refusing to dwell in the process, the how, or the when, and instead fully embracing the truth that your desire is already realized. If you continue to focus on the process, how things will unfold, whether it is realistic or when it will happen, you are affirming that you do not yet have it. And as long as you see it as something distant, something to be attained, you will keep it in the future, just out of reach. But when you accept it as already yours, when you embody the emotions and certainty of having it now, your outer world must conform. The reason most people fail in manifestation is because they constantly contradict their desires with their thoughts and feelings. They may visualize their success for a moment, but then immediately return to doubts, questioning whether it is possible. They may affirm their abundance, but then react to their bank account with fear. This constant wavering between belief and disbelief creates confusion, and the world mirrors this uncertainty back to them. But when you persist in the end result, when you refuse to accept anything less than your vision, the world has no choice but to bend to your assumption. To truly embody the end, you must see yourself as the person who already has what they seek. If you desire wealth, do not think like someone who lacks. Think like someone who is already financially free. How would you carry yourself? How would you feel when you wake up each morning? What decisions would you make, knowing that abundance is already yours? If you desire love, do not see yourself as someone searching for it. See yourself as someone who is already deeply loved. Feel the warmth of connection, the joy of companionship, the security of knowing you are cherished. If you desire success, do not wait for the world to validate you. Walk with the confidence of someone who has already achieved their greatest dreams. Your emotions play a crucial role in this. The strongest signal you send to the universe is not your words, but your feelings. You cannot simply say that you are abundant while feeling lack, or affirm love while feeling lonely. Your dominant emotional state is what dictates your reality. This is why it is essential to embody the feelings of your fulfilled desire as if they were happening right now. Feel the excitement, the gratitude, the peace that comes with knowing it is done. Let that feeling settle into your being so deeply that nothing in the outer world can shake it. Many people believe they must take endless action to bring their desires to life, but action without the right mindset is wasted effort. When you live in the end, the right actions flow naturally. You will be inspired to move in ways that align with your vision, not out of desperation, but out of certainty. The path reveals itself effortlessly when you have already assumed the destination. The opportunities, the resources, the people, all will appear as a reflection of the inner state you have embodied. Doubt may try to creep in, but it only has power if you allow it. Any time you question whether your manifestation is working, remind yourself that the world cannot help but reflect what you persistently assume to be true. If you have already claimed it in consciousness, it is inevitable. Do not waver. Do not let appearances dictate your belief. Hold to the end. Feel it is real, and the bridge of events will unfold in perfect order. You do not need to know how. You only need to know that it is already done. Your words and thoughts are the architects of your reality. Every sentence you speak, every thought you entertain, is shaping the world around you. Most people do not realize the immense power they hold within their own minds. They speak carelessly, complain about circumstances, and dwell on problems, unaware that they are reinforcing the very conditions they wish to escape. The mind is like fertile soil, and whatever you plant within it, whether seeds of abundance or seeds of lack, will take root and grow. If you wish to manifest your ideal day, you must guard your words and thoughts with absolute discipline. Many people believe they are merely describing reality when they speak about their struggles, but in truth, they are creating it. When someone says, "Nothing ever goes my way," they are not making an observation, they are making a declaration. When they say, "I am always broke," they are not stating a fact, they are issuing a command to their subconscious mind. The subconscious does not argue, it does not question, it simply accepts whatever is impressed upon it as truth. If you tell yourself that you are unlucky, that life is difficult, that success is out of reach, your subconscious mind will ensure that your experiences align with those beliefs. But the same law applies in reverse. If you affirm that you are fortunate, that life flows effortlessly in your favor, that success is inevitable, your subconscious will make those statements a reality. This is why you must become intentional with your inner dialogue. Every word, every phrase, every assumption must align with the reality you wish to create. If you desire a peaceful day, do not speak of stress or chaos. If you desire abundance, do not give voice to lack. If you desire love, do not entertain thoughts of loneliness. The universe is listening, always responding to the energy you emit through your words and emotion. To complain about circumstances is to strengthen them. To affirm your desired reality is to bring it closer. The key is to speak and think from the end. Instead of saying, "I hope today goes well," declare, "Today unfolds perfectly in my favor." Instead of saying, "I am trying to be successful," affirm, "Success is already mine." Instead of dwelling on past failures, remind yourself, "Everything I touch prospers." The words you repeat to yourself become the script of your life. Do not allow careless language to create barriers where there should be none. Your emotional state amplifies the effect of your words. Words spoken without feeling carry little power, but words charged with deep conviction transform reality. If you say, "I am abundant," but feel anxious about money, your subconscious receives the dominant feeling, not just the words. This is why it is crucial to not only say the right things, but to feel them as true. When you affirm, "Everything is working out for me," do not simply say it, believe it. Let that belief sink into every cell of your being. Let your body relax into certainty that your words carry weight, that they are not empty statements, but commands to the universe. And the more you repeat empowering words, the more they become second nature. At first, it may feel unnatural. You may catch yourself falling into old habits of doubt and negativity. But with persistence, the new language becomes your dominant inner voice. Instead of reacting to the world, you begin creating it consciously. No longer do you speak from a place of fear or limitation. You speak as someone who already possesses the life they desire. And as you continue, you will see how quickly reality begins to shift in your favor. People will notice the change in your energy. Circumstances will rearrange themselves effortlessly. Opportunities will arise where before there were only obstacles. To speak as if your desires are already fulfilled is not deception, it is creation. You are not pretending, you are aligning. When you declare something as true, you set forces in motion that cannot be seen, but are just as real as any physical action. Everything you say and think is sending out a signal, shaping the form your life takes. Speak only what you wish to see manifest. Let your words be filled with certainty, joy, and expectancy, and the world will rise to meet them. Your emotions are the fuel of manifestation. They are not just passing feelings, they are creative forces that shape your reality with precision. What you consistently feel is what you consistently attract. Most people believe that emotions are simply reactions to the external world, but this is a misunderstanding. Emotions are not just responses, they are causes. They set into motion the events, circumstances, and experiences that unfold in your life. If you want to manifest your ideal day, you must learn to master your emotional state, for it is the most powerful signal you send to the universe. Each morning, you wake up with the opportunity to decide how you will feel. You may believe that the conditions of your life dictate your emotions, but the truth is, you dictate them. When you understand this, you no longer allow the outside world to control how you feel. Instead, you choose the emotions that align with the life you wish to experience. If you desire joy, feel joy now. If you desire confidence, embody confidence now. If you desire success, carry yourself as someone who already possesses it. The world will reflect back whatever dominant emotion you hold. Many people fall into the trap of waiting for circumstances to change before they allow themselves to feel good. They say, "I will be happy when I have more money," or "I will feel confident when I achieve my goals," or "I will feel at peace once my problems are solved." But this is the wrong approach. You must first feel the state you desire before it can manifest. Waiting for circumstances to change before shifting your emotions is like standing in front of a mirror, waiting for the reflection to smile before you do. It is backward. The mirror reflects what you project, and life does the same. The key is to deliberately cultivate the emotions that match the reality you wish to experience. Instead of seeking validation from the outer world, generate the feeling within. If you desire love, feel love now. Imagine the warmth, the connection, the deep sense of belonging as though it were already true. If you desire financial freedom, feel the ease, the security, the excitement of abundance as though it were already yours. Your subconscious does not distinguish between imagination and reality. It only responds to the feelings you consistently generate. At first, this may feel unfamiliar. If you have spent years reacting to life rather than creating it, shifting your emotional state deliberately may seem unnatural, but with practice, it becomes second nature. You will notice that as you prioritize feeling good, circumstances begin to align effortlessly. The right opportunities present themselves. The right people enter your life. Solutions to problems appear seemingly out of nowhere. This is not coincidence. It is the law of reality responding to the energy you emit. Resistance may arise in the form of doubt, fear, or old patterns of thinking. When this happens, remind yourself that you are in control. Do not fight negative emotions. Instead, shift your focus. Place your attention on what you want to feel rather than what you fear. One of the simplest ways to do this is through gratitude. Gratitude is the ultimate emotional amplifier. It immediately shifts your state from lack to abundance, from worry to trust, from fear to certainty. By feeling grateful for what you already have, you open the door for more to come. Another powerful method is to act as if. Move through your day as though everything you desire is already yours. Speak as though you have already received it. Carry yourself with the confidence, ease, and joy of someone who has manifested the ideal life. Your body does not know the difference between reality and imagination. It only responds to the signals you give it. When you act as if, you embody the energy of your desire, and life has no choice but to mirror it back to you. Mastering your emotions is not about suppressing negativity or forcing happiness. It is about awareness and deliberate choice. You do not need to be in a perfect emotional state every moment of the day, but your dominant feeling must align with the reality you seek. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Eventually, you will find that joy, confidence, and abundance are not things you chase, they are things you embody. And when you embody them, they must manifest. Your imagination is the gateway to everything you desire. It is not just a place of idle daydreams, but the very blueprint of your reality. The world you experience is a direct reflection of the images you hold in your mind. What you consistently imagine, you inevitably become. Most people believe imagination is separate from reality, but the truth is, it is the foundation of all creation. Every invention, every success, every transformation in history first existed in the mind before it became physical. If you wish to manifest your ideal day, you must learn to use your imagination deliberately, not as a tool for escape, but as the architect of your life. Each morning, before the world impresses itself upon you, take control of your mental imagery. Instead of allowing random thoughts and memories to dictate your state, consciously construct the vision of the day you desire. See yourself moving through it effortlessly, experiencing joy, success, and fulfillment. Feel the emotions as if they were real. The secret is not to imagine from a place of longing, as though you are watching a distant dream, but to step into the scene as though it is happening now. If you wish to feel confident, imagine yourself radiating confidence in every interaction. If you desire a productive day, see yourself accomplishing tasks with ease and inspiration. If you want peace, envision yourself moving through the day with a deep sense of calm and clarity. The key to effective imagination is vividness and consistency. It is not enough to imagine something once and then forget about it. You must return to it repeatedly, reinforcing the mental picture until it becomes more real to you than the outer world. The subconscious does not distinguish between reality and imagination. It only accepts what is persistently impressed upon it. If you hold the vision long enough and with enough conviction, it must externalize. Your outer world is simply a delayed reflection of your inner world. Change the inner, and the outer must follow. Many people sabotage their own manifestations because they allow doubt to creep into their imagination. They visualize their desires, but then immediately question whether it is possible. This contradiction weakens the impression on the subconscious. To manifest successfully, you must not only see the desired outcome, but also trust in its inevitability. Just as a seed planted in the ground does not sprout overnight, but grows in unseen ways beneath the surface, your imagined reality is taking shape long before it appears physically. The mistake most people make is digging up the seed too soon with doubt and impatience. But if you persist, the unseen will become seen. Your imagination also holds the power to revise past experiences that may be shaping your present reality in undesirable ways. If you dwell on past failures, regrets, or painful moments, you continue to carry their energy into the present. But through imagination, you can rewrite those experiences, transforming them into empowering memories. Before you sleep at night, take any event that did not go as you wished and replay it in your mind. But this time, see it unfolding in the way you desired. If you had a difficult conversation, reimagine it as harmonious. If you face rejection, picture yourself being accepted. By doing this, you are not deceiving yourself. You are directing your subconscious to align with a new version of reality. And because the subconscious controls your behaviors, reactions, and expectations, this revision will begin to reflect in your waking life. Imagination is not limited by logic, circumstances, or current conditions. It operates in a realm beyond time and space, where anything is possible. The only limits are those you impose upon yourself. If you believe something is too difficult, too far away, or beyond your reach, then it will be. But if you dare to imagine boldly, without restriction, the universe will shape itself to fit your vision. Train yourself to see beyond appearances. Do not be deceived by what is in front of you. What is seen is temporary, but what is imagined is eternal. When you hold the image of your desired reality with unwavering faith, it will move from thought to form, from vision to experience. Your words shape your reality. Every word you speak is a declaration, a command issued to your subconscious mind, and the energy you send out into the universe. Most people speak carelessly, unaware that their words are seeds planted in the soil of their existence. They talk about their limitations, their struggles, their failures, and in doing so they reinforce them. What you repeatedly say becomes the truth of your life, not because the words themselves have power, but because they shape your beliefs, and your beliefs determine what you experience. If you desire to manifest your ideal day, you must master the art of conscious speech. Every word carries vibration. When you say, "I am tired," you are not merely describing a feeling, you are affirming a state. When you say, "I never have enough time," you are reinforcing scarcity. When you say, "Things never work out for me," you are ensuring that they don't. Your subconscious mind is always listening, always taking instructions from the words you speak. It does not filter truth from falsehood. It simply accepts what it is given and works to make it real. If you wish to experience a different reality, you must begin by speaking differently. The most powerful words in existence are the ones that follow "I am." These two words define you in ways you may not even realize. Whatever you place after them becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you say, "I am unlucky," you will find misfortune at every turn. If you say, I am not good enough, you will subconsciously sabotage every opportunity. But if you say, I am successful, I am powerful, I am worthy, your entire being will begin to align with these truths. The key is not to speak what you see, but to speak what you wish to see. Words are the bridge between imagination and reality. When spoken with conviction, they bring the unseen into existence. Many people believe they must be realistic, that speaking positively when things are not going well is a form of self-deception. But this belief is the very thing keeping them stuck. Speaking as though your desires have already come true is not lying. It is creation. It is aligning your consciousness with a version of yourself that already exists in the unseen. Reality is fluid. It is shaped by perception. When you shift the way you speak, you shift the way you think. And when you shift the way you think, your life must follow. It is not enough to say positive words once and then revert to old habits. Consistency is key. You must make conscious speech a way of life. Every morning, before you begin your day, declare what you wish to experience. Say, today is filled with opportunities. I am focused. I am confident. I am attracting everything I desire. Speak it not as a wish, but as a certainty. Throughout the day, guard your words carefully. If you catch yourself speaking in ways that contradict your desires, immediately correct yourself. Replace every limiting statement with one that affirms possibility. Your external world is always mirroring your internal dialogue. If you want to know what someone truly believes about themselves, listen to how they speak. Words are windows into the mind. A person who constantly speaks of lack, struggle, and hardship is reinforcing those very things in their experience. A person who speaks of abundance, success, and ease is shaping their reality accordingly. This is not wishful thinking. It is an immutable law. The energy of your words is molding your future in every moment. To take full control of this power, speak as if your dream life is already yours. When you talk about your goals, do not say, I hope to achieve them. Say, I am achieving them. When discussing money, do not say, I never have enough. Say, money flows to me effortlessly. When describing yourself, never use words that diminish your worth. Speak of yourself with the same reverence you would speak of someone you admire. The words you choose become the reality you live. The more you affirm the life you desire, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as truth. And once it does, reality has no choice but to conform. Everything you desire is already within you. Your imagination is the blueprint, your emotions are the fuel, your belief is the foundation, and your words are the commands that shape your reality. The world you experience is not separate from you. It is a reflection of your inner state, molded by your thoughts, your feelings, and your spoken word. If you wish to manifest your ideal day, you must first live it within. You must see it, feel it, believe it, and declare it with certainty. No longer allow doubt, fear, or external circumstances to dictate your experience. You are not a victim of life. You are the creator of it. Every moment presents you with a choice to accept things as they are or to transform them into what you desire. The unseen forces of the universe are always responding to you, always aligning with the reality you assume to be true. The key is not to wait for proof, but to become the proof. Walk in the conviction that what you desire is already yours, and the world will rearrange itself to match that conviction. Master your imagination, control your emotions, strengthen your belief, and speak only that which you wish to manifest. Make these principles the foundation of your life, and you will witness the extraordinary power that has always been within you. The life you dream of is not far away. It is waiting for you to claim it. Imagine it, believe it, feel it, speak it, and you will become it.